Hello, and welcome to the Stream of Chaos. My name is Dave, and I will be your keeper of arcane lore for this session of Call of Cthulhu. Today, we are continuing our playthrough of the two-headed serpent, Pulp Action, currently in North Borneo. You can get your own copy of the campaign in both physical and digital formats from Chaosium.com, and you can find all the collected together and playlisted VODs of the previous sessions we run over on the YouTube, where we have also just hit 10,000 subscribers, which is a pretty fun achievement for us. So we're pleased as punch. I've got here written in my notes, whoa, baby. So that. We do stream live each Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific on Twitch. So if you're watching over there, if you're one of the 10,000, come and join the live gang and we can make those numbers bigger as well. We love to see numbers go up. Next Thursday on October 27th at 6 p.m. Pacific, we have a special stream because on that day, we're celebrating the launch of Regency Cthulhu. So you should come by. We've got a special game that's being run by our own Brian Holland and features a terrific cast, including Sage Ryan, London Carlisle, Paula Deming, and Cynthia Marie. So you should come and watch them add etiquette to insanity. I promise you it'll all go very, very well. Without further ado, we'll jump back into our regularly scheduled broadcasting. For this chapter of the campaign, I do want to give a content warning for horror-themed descriptions of quarantine procedures and the spread of disease. But beyond that, let's return. So our four heroes, intrepid as they are plunging through the jungles on the trail of some giant monstrosity and potential serpent person infestation. Three of them are on foot, while one of them soars through the skies in his miraculous machine. And all four of them are being pursued by some manner of demon thing. On the ground, a bunch of little rat guys have shown themselves and prepared to plunge forward and attack, and in the skies, Dr. Samuel Taylor Thompson is being borne down on by some dark-winged creature. We'll get each of you to introduce your investigators with one fun bonus twist. At the end of each session, I've been asking, well, I only did it once because we only had one session. I'm going to ask you to make a constitution roll to see if you've possibly picked up this horrible thing that's spreading. And I did forget that last time. So the first roll of this session for each player is going to be a constitution roll to see if you've caught the plague. Let's begin with Lieutenant Aries Carter.
Hello, I'm Art. I am playing Lieutenant Aries Carter. Mm-hmm. I don't. There's rat boys in vests.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure like the opening shot of Aries is, you know, back after the ad break, swinging around, pulling a pistol from beneath their coat and just like going, none of that, and shooting three of them in the head. So that's first action. And honestly, I feel like that's a good intro to their character. So let's just stick with that.
Yeah. Turning around and just blasting the skull off three of these little rodent nerds.
No, you don't.
Goodbye. Try again. Fantastic. And with that, can we also get you to make a constitution roll? Please and thank you.
No.
Please.
I don't want to.
I don't want the play.
I don't want to. Ha!
Okay, well done. Oh, look at that. It's like going to the dentist. Was that so bad? Don't you feel better now that you've been?
No, I hate everything.
Okay, fantastic. Well done. So far, so good.
Thank you, random number Jesus. I don't really feel like I should be praised for pure luck.
And yet we do it every week. All right, Lieutenant Carter, please step to the side. Let's proceed to the next victim. Jackson, can you please introduce Dr. Sam?
That's me. I'm Jackson. I'm playing Dr. Samuel Taylor Thompson, Dr. Aviator, all-around stand-up chap, who is, as mentioned, soaring through the skies in his homemade ultralight aircraft with his Falcon companion Lancet nearby. After somehow forgetting that this chapter started with our plane being attacked by flying monsters. I don't know how. It's been a long day, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It can only get shorter from here.
Yeah.
Perhaps
it could get
very
a lot
short.
shorter, yeah.
Perhaps the shortest day of
I tell you
our
what,
lives.
Jackson, if this goes in one particular direction, you're allowed to go home early and we'll finish the stream without you.
Yes.
All right. Can you please
The
make a
monster's in the shop in
constitution
15
roll?
minutes. I'm legally allowed to leave. One constitution roll. Hey!
Okay. Not too bad. So far,
That's
so
not too
good.
bad at all.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And lastly, penultimately, Jimbo.
I am the penultimate Hubert Smith. Yes, Hubert, the large and certainly not in charge character, wearing a suit that's, a little dustier now, taken off some of the golf affectations. And where we left Hubert, he was cradling one of these lovely creatures in his arms because they were so delightful and wonderful, and then it bit his throat. So he's yelling now. Yeah, that's about him.
Yeah.
You want me to make that constitution check?
Yes, with an extra dash of flavor, because we remembered after the fact that... Jim, why don't you go ahead and explain? You've got a special button.
That's right. So Pulp Cthulhu, everybody gets 2 pulp talents. And one of my pulp talents is that I get a bonus die on all constitution checks. So I am going to be making a retroactive roll for the bonus die that I should have applied to the last roll. And then I'm going to be making 2 for this current one. So here is my retroactive constitution roll.
And last time you did fail it too, so this is going to be worth having.
Yep.
Okay.
Now
Nicely
here are
handled.
my 2 rolls for this current one. That would have been bad. But that's still bad.
So that's going to be a 99 for both of those. So that is going to be not a fumble, but that is going to be a fail.
Excellent.
Okay. We will note that down accordingly. And Jimmy might be allowed to go home early today.
Ah, perfect.
All right.
I'm in my house. Do I have to leave and leave the stream on though? So you
Yes.
can just get chair.
You just have to stand there looking sad. All right. And now, ultimately, Alex.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm playing Wilhelmina St. Clair, who was just really excited to be here, although maybe slightly less excited in just a moment if I fail this con check. She was the first to spot the weird little rats in the vests. Was first charmed by them, and then less so almost immediately. What sound, by the way, Dave? What sound do these rats in the vests make when they're talking to you? That's the one.
They're friendly little guys.
They're not friendly little guys at all. At all.
I bet.
The same as last time.
It was slightly different.
It's a little bit
It
different.
was pretty similar. It was definitely a...
That was this. We've met one that has a deeper voice. They have range. Weird little guys are not a monolith. Okay.
different
How
last
dare you.
time.
They do. Okay.
Alex, you want to go ahead and give us a constitution roll?
Not really, but all right.
Well done. Okay, once again, praise the random numbers and skill.
Yeah.
Extremes.
Is that the
Accidentally-
same that you
that's
rolled
the
before?
same.
Nice.
Not the exact same. Was it the exact same?
I feel like it was exact same.
I did this before the stream started and I was pissed. It's the
exact same.
It is the exact same roll. So I rolled this before stream and then Dave's like, sucker, you're going to roll it on the stream again. Same number. Go fuck yourself, I
Well
guess.
done. Yeah, I guess that's on me.
Meanwhile, I've got
Yes.
a bonus die and I'm still messing it up. I have to imagine that Hubert has, I don't know, like, not been washing his hands or something. Like, this mask is itchy.
All right. So where we return, Lieutenant Carter, Mr. Smith, and Minnie St. Clair are trekking through the North Borneo jungle. Thick trees all around you, and now the stench of rotten and maggoted fruit wafts towards you in waves. It gives you a sort of a heady feeling, and you're almost, feeling as if you're close to drifting off to sleep. From all of this comes a small, ratty creature, sort of garbed in like fronds and bits of grass and twine to resemble a vest. And after at first attempting to charm you so subtly, it has now shown its true nature. Unhinged its jaw like a serpent and lunged toward Hubert with deadly intent. Yet more of these creatures are stumbling from underneath the bushes and undergrowth just surround you entirely and aim to chew through your Achilles tendons. But Lieutenant Carter did crit the spot hidden roll to see them, so may have a chance to act before they do. The rest of you, unfortunately, are going to have to make your own roll to see if you are horribly, horribly surprised. Elsewhere, soaring through the skies, Dr. Sam has spotted yet another of these black, faceless winged monstrosities that is cutting through the cloud cover and soaring towards him. Art?
I was just going to say my personal title for today's stream is Rat Boys and Danger Noodles.
We'll adjust the title in post.
A rat in the past.
Okay. So we're gonna start with some spot hidden rolls. This is gonna be from Hubert and Minnie to see if you spot these creatures coming up towards you. Minnie, yours is gonna be a straight roll. Hubert, yours is gonna be with a penalty dice. This thing is right in front of you and lunging in the process.
I love it. I have one pitch I'd like to hit for you,
Nice.
Dave. Could I make a psychology check instead of a spot hidden check because I'm cradling this thing, noting that my psychology is worse?
You can make an animal handling roll.
Oh,
You can make a psychology roll. It will not be with the penalty dice, but will be hard.
Okay.
As this is an alien creature, or at least a rat.
There you go.
Okay, that will confirm it. Okay, so everyone is going to enter the initiative on the same order. With Lieutenant, we're going to give you a bonus to kick things off, and you also were able to alert the others. Now, we are playing with the variant when we roll initiative, so I'm going to get everyone to make a dex roll. Lieutenant Carter, you can do so with a bonus dice. You'll have been able to draw your pistol and effectively be readied for it, so that'll give you a chance to get the jump on these little dicks. I've preemptively rolled their ones because there's a billion, so I'll just slot you in place. Dr. Sam, could you also roll, as you'll be cutting through the skies and we'll handle you within the same stack?
Wow.
I'd love to.
Wow.
Unfortunately, no, because that is 100.
Is that...
Yeah.
Because I rolled a 0.
No.
The hard
we're
success
fine.
is still good.
Bonus. I go to bonus, not a penalty, so I'm fine.
Very good.
Okay. Did anyone get an extreme success, first of all? No,
No.
no
Hard.
extremies. Actually, hang on. Let me roll for my horrible wing thing because I didn't roll that one. Uno momento, por favor.
See.
Da-da-da-da. Wow.
Haha.
Nuts.
Horrible wing things. Okay.
All right, that's gonna go. So, anyone get a hard success? I think I saw one go through, at least. That's Lieutenant
Me.
Carter.
Carter.
Minnie as well. Was that or?
Nah, just rego.
Okay. No worries.
That is a great abbreviation and incredibly Australian. I love it.
Okay.
It's also the exact same spelling as Rego, with a slightly different pronunciation.
Totally different meaning.
How do we go for regular successes?
The other two investigators.
Okay. Hubert, you got fail,
Minnie
and Minnie,
and
you
Hubert.
failed as well.
Regular.
Oh, you got a regular. Okay, so Minnie does scrape their way through. Okay. Great. And then
Dr.
we're gonna have
Sam and the horrible winged thing failed, but the
Yeah.
horrible winged thing has higher dex.
All right, we will put the horrible wing thing. Hubert, what's your dex?
My dexterity is 50.
Okay, you are also going to go after the horrible wing thing. Oh, good news. Great content. Okay. So, let's go to the top. It is going to be two of these little monsters acting first as they come tearing out of the undergrowth. One of them is going to throw themselves towards Minnie and attempt to stab at you with what appears to be a small needle knife and jam it into the back of your ankle through the boot, and we begin to feel blood well up if it impacts. And the other one is going to be the one that
Absolutely
you've got,
not.
Hubert, that is going to plunge towards you and tear your throat out. Up.
Do I not get to go before all of these because I critted my spot hidden?
You got the bonus dice, and you were able to allow them to roll to stop a full
very good.
surprise round, which would have been free actions.
Very good.
Yeah.
So it is absolutely being factored in.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. All right, first one to go. Let's have a Minnie. Would you like to dodge or riposte?
I am not dodging. If I riposte, would it be
It'd be fighting
brawl
brawl.
or firearm? Can I
Fighting
shoot
brawl.
at them, or am I brawling?
It'd be fighting brawl. They're closing the distance and making a big old lunge at you.
Okay. It's gonna have to be a dodge.
Okay. Do you want to
Yeah.
go ahead and make that roll for me?
I'm not good at either of those, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that's a success. No luck you want to spend or anything. I'm going to go ahead and make my...
You know what? Yeah, we've got heaps of luck. I'm gonna make that a hard success. I'm gonna make that a knife. I was saying I was gonna make that a hard success, but
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I rolled that a bit fast, so just go ahead and hold on to it because you're going to win
Yeah.
it. So this thing comes lunging out of it from the undergrowth, and you see that it does appear to have clenched in one of its hands a small and sharp knife, and it stabs it towards Minnie, who yelps, reaches backwards, and just scurries under, tumbles back, and moves forward to continue to just lunge towards you, stabbing again and again and
I need to
again.
dive into this. I'm so sorry. Are we talking like a knife? Like, is this the same technology as its vest, or like,
Yeah.
or has it like stolen a carving knife?
No,
or is
no.
it holding
It's like
like
a
a
pine
combat
needle.
knife?
It's got like that red wall kind of like they made their
Okay,
own
great,
technology
cool.
kind of knife. It's made to fit their aesthetic, so it's probably not metal. It looks to be actually it is metallic. It's got like a little sheen to it and a glisten.
Flint or something.
Yeah, it looks
Or
a little more
bone.
spaced. Yeah, it's kind of got that dreamy characteristic to it again. Like, you know, you look closely at it and it doesn't quite line up. It's long, it's too thin. It looks as though it should break on impact, and yet it seems to be wielding it with fairly nasty intent. All right, up next is going to be our second one, who's going to lunge at you, Hubert. Close the distance closely. Closing the distance closely. Sometimes it just doesn't
Well
work.
done.
Hubert's had real bad luck with animals. He's been bitten by everything that's arrived.
All right,
I
do
will
it.
riposte.
Okay. You actually did. Sorry, you did fail this one. It's going to be a free attack. Sorry, actually, because just given. Actually, no. Sorry, that was the
I
correct
succeeded
factoring
the
in.
spot hidden.
Yes,
I
you
failed the
did.
dexterity check. Yeah.
Yes, that's what. Sorry, that was me misremembering because you all went in on this order. So yes. Do you want to riposte? Sorry.
Yes, I would.
I fucking flattened this thing. Go ahead and roll first.
Can I mechanically, if I may, I would like to riposte with a fighting brawl. I would like to put this thing in my bag. Is my goal here?
Put it in with the trail mix. Just
Yeah,
jam it in with
basically.
all-
I'll cut him
start
down.
shaking it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put him in a jar.
That's very funny. I like that a lot. Yeah, go for it.
Get in the jar.
Okay. Don't want to add anything to that. I'm gonna roll.
No, sorry.
All good. All right. This thing's jaw clicks open. It lunges forward, but it's fast enough that you're able to catch it and jam it forward into the bag. Do you want to go ahead and deal your unarmed damage, or was this going for more of like a maneuver? I guess.
No, I was trying to lock it in a thing. I'll very happily deal
You
with
were
that.
holding on to it too. It's really rad. So you just suddenly it opens its jaw and you go no, close fist and jam it down in towards your bag, where you can already see it beginning to just go absolutely feral inside it, whipping around and trying to chew through it to get back out towards you. All right, next is going to be Lieutenant Carter. Can I get you to immediately make a sanity roll at the start of your turn for witnessing these horrible little dicks? And then we'll continue from there.
Certainement. Give me a sec. Nope.
Okay, that is going to be a D3. Please and thank you. I said thank you.
3.
Okay. A fairly visceral reaction, I imagine. Presumably met with violence.
Oh, absolutely. There is. I mean, yeah, Ares, much like Art, doesn't have a great flight response. If something is scary, their immediate response is punch it, or in this case, shoot it.
Apply gun.
Don't scare me, folks. I punch. All right. Yeah. Can I only see these two?
No, you can see all of them coming forward. You crit the shit out of that. So there are 7 in total, 6 coming through the undergrowth, and 1 now bagged. One is right across from Minnie, and I will say all of these have a build of -2, which will apply a penalty dice on range attacks targeting them because they're just too small and nimble. It's like,
Are they within point blank range though?
they will be. Yep, they will be charging towards as they close the distance too.
But hold on a
consume.
mo. If they've got a build of -2, doesn't that mean most of us will have bonuses to make fighting maneuvers?
They will have penalties for applying their own fighting maneuvers.
Oh, okay. We don't get bonuses.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Regardless,
something we've
I
ruled-
have they're in
ruled
point blank
in the past.
range, so I'm still getting a straight roll on them.
Correct. Not
Great.
against the one that's with Minnie, and the one that's in the bag will have a further penalty dice, as they are basically like you're trying not to clip your companions. But the ones
Okay.
that are in orbit, you're free to fire against.
In orbit.
Cool. Well, all right. I was going to go for the one that was going after Minnie, but if that's going to be difficult to hit because they're little, I will see the others coming, kind of assume that thinning the ranks is probably a good idea, and I'm going to fire off, 3 shots
Awesome.
at as many of them as I can hit and kill. We'll see.
I think we've said before that you're free to just roll them and assign as you go. So do you want to just roll the first and see if you want to fire repeated shots into the same target? None
right.
of them are going to throw themselves prone. They are intent on consumption.
Delicious. All right, first one is a success,
Okay?
dealing 8 damage.
Strike 1. As it goes
One gone.
charging forward, it throws up on
Great.
a pop. The head explodes and brain matter
Delightful.
gets splattered.
So, new target. Hard success, 9 damage. Sorry, standard success, 9 damage.
Strike a second.
Great, new target. Hard success, 8 damage.
And strike another. 3 of these things come some sprinting out from underneath trees and things. Only 2 of them armed. The other ones lowering themselves onto all 4 limbs to throw themselves forward as fast as they can, but not near fast enough for Lieutenant Carter. 6 emerge, 3 are immediately dead, and the remnants will avenge their fallen brothers and sisters.
I would, as I shoot, I'll shoot 3 of them and then just stand and be like, unless you want to go the same way, you adorable little shits, stand down.
Okay. Noted. So far, they seem unwilling to meet under the white flag of parley. Let's go to...
Well, that's unfortunate for them.
It is going to be, I expect. One of the ones that was next to act is going to be a hella fucking dead, but the other charges forward, blade clenched, and lunges toward Lieutenant Carter. Would you like to dodge or riposte? And the riposte will be with your fighting brawl skill.
Yeah. Am I able to whip out my knife to riposte?
Works, man.
Your wills.
You got 2 hands.
Yeah.
Might as well hold a second
Cool.
thing in one of them.
I will riposte with my fighting brawl.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead and make your roll, and then we'll go to mine.
Extreme success.
that's
I
a
don't
big- that's a big
think
number.
I'm going to block that any lower.
Come on,
Probably
little-
say.
Come on, little guy. I believe in you. Just believe in yourself. Damn it. All right.
Cool. That would
Took a
be.
knife to a knife fight and still lost.
Yeah. I do want to be clear. That was 12 damage
I
because
saw
my
that.
knife is impaling. So I can be like, it like lunges at me, and I just pull out a knife and hold it in midair, and it just
So
skewers itself,
sick.
About it.
and then just like flick it off.
A little
Think about it.
trail
It's
of
like a
blood.
baby.
Trail of blood and mismatched organs get splattered on the ground and strike another. Okay. Well done. Minnie, it's your turn. Can you please
So
make a
just to
sanity roll for
confirm-
me? 4 are dead.
Just to confirm, you just threw 7 rats at us, and I just got rid of 4 of them.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
They were closed. They had a culture. This is murder.
This is genocide.
No,
They-
this, to be clear, this is war. We're
Their
It's
people
war.
will rally. Their people. You think this is the end of the rat people? Okay. Minnie, can you please make a sanity roll as we kick off with the reveal of
Yeah.
these horrible little nasties?
It's fine.
As a success, there's going to be no points. You are handling this very well, possibly in seeing how Lieutenant Carter manages to dispatch them with ease.
It's like, this is fine.
One of them has
not the weirdest shit we've seen. This
No,
is
it is
fine.
not. One of them has closed the distance and is tumbling underneath one of your boots. It's, from its perspective, you're the Dark Souls boss, as it just keeps rolling underneath you, trying to get the small frame that it can actually strike at you as Lieutenant Carter just wreaks havoc down upon them. What do you want to do?
I'm going to continue to dodge. My fighting brawl is not good.
Okay, so you could just ready yourself to get a bonus dice on your next dodge action, or you could try and give him a little stomp, noting that it will attempt to riposte.
I'm dodging. My stompy is bad.
All right, you don't need to roll then. The next time it attempts to attack, you will have a bonus dice on any attempts to dodge for this round. So you're basically like throwing yourself from one side to the other,
Like,
trying to position yourself as best as possible.
I'm just like standing on one leg.
Go away,
Yeah.
little nerd.
I'm like, no.
Just like kicking at it like you do with something you don't want, like shoot, go, shoot.
No.
Okay. Perfect. So you try and rear backwards and away from it as the final two enter the fray. One is going to charge towards you and the other one is going to sprint across towards Herbert. So I'm going to make another attack against Minnie and another against Hubert. Now, Minnie, you're going to have a bonus dice on your dodge. Hubert, you're going to actually have a penalty on whatever you... Actually, you riposted last time. You have a penalty if you riposte again, but a straight roll if you dodge. So you can try and throw yourself out of the way. Let me know
Where's
which
the
you'd like to...
seventh lad?
The seventh lad is entering currently. That's
Very
them.
good, thank you.
They're only yeah, that's right. Wait, no, sorry, one of these is dead. I miscounted. You threw 4 off the board. Okay, sorry. Minnie, one more sprint towards to engage you. Hubert, you only have your bagged fellow. Minnie, do you want to go ahead and give me a dodge roll with a bonus dice, please?
Bonus, thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I know.
Worse.
Would you like to lock that? It's 15 points.
Sure, why not? I don't want to get bitten by a fucking rat in a vest.
Okay, who knows what diseases these things are carrying?
Exactly.
I mean, probably
I'm
the
lucky not
plague.
to a success. Absolutely
likely.
not.
Okay, all right. It
Let's
charges
whittle
forward.
that luck down.
This one's knifeless, so it's just going to attempt to bite into you with those huge rat buck teeth thing.
Oh no!
That's going to hit.
Great. Yeah, it is.
So, and on extreme damage, it rolls maximum. Now they do because their damage
3
bonus is
damage.
negative. That maximum is 3, so it's not exactly lethal. And in the past, we have said that you all wear like partial
Leather
armor,
coat, yeah.
right? So you will reduce that by a further 1, taking only 2 points of damage.
we?
However, you have been bitten by this thing.
I know. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Wait, do we have armor now? I should note that down somewhere.
Yeah,
we
you have
heavy
access
leather
to it.
jackets. Could we establish it on the plane?
Actually,
Because
I will say
didn't
probably
apply it
with
'cause I was
it-
in golf hat gear.
With it and the quarantine stuff, it might be getting a little sweaty. Maybe for this one, it's a choice between the two.
I did not note down that I had armor, so I'm going to say that I just have.
I think last time we established that we were just wearing like masks and gloves while we were out here.
Yeah, you are right. Yeah, because during the actual trek, you've got it. I think the
Yeah.
armor's fine if it makes 100%. You guys know you're chasing some horrible goblin.
Yeah.
If you can armor up, that makes sense for us. That will reduce it by 1 point, which means that this does go through. You're going to take 2 points of damage, and you have been bitten by the rat. That's fun.
Jesus. No. What? Ah. And it's like hanging off my foot.
Oh yeah, it's
like
bitten.
shaking my boot.
It's bitten through the sole of it and is now
Oh.
clamped down. Being swung one way and the other. Okay. We cut now to the skies. Dr.
Hooray.
Sam, you were sort of flying along and you spotted this thing in the distance. You went, that's funny. Actually, it's got the wing mirrors. And it's got the, this objects may be closer than they appear or whatever the hell. And then suddenly you look behind you, this thing swooping across towards you. It is spending its full turn chasing after you. And even with that in mind, given your speed, it will not fully engage. So you have a chance to try and get out of the way. So it is currently, next round, it will arrive next to you if you take no further evasive actions. So that is where it is. We go now to Hubert and Dr. Sam. Of the two of you, who has a higher dexterity? I think Tide?
I think you succeeded though, and I failed.
No,
I
you
failed.
both.
Okay, you go first. So now that we're in the skies,
Let's
so
keep the
long
skies
as you-
together.
Yeah, that's a
So
good
long
call.
as you use your turn to deploy your hidden machine guns. And spin around.
You put some machine guns in my
I wish.
flying machine?
We
Sadly
failed
not.
to install a
Very
radio.
kind
Was
of
as
you.
far as we got. I don't think we're
It's
succeeding
true.
with the hidden
Only had
sentry
that radio
guns.
now. Well, now would be a good time to remind me, what gun do I have? Because I had a rifle in chapter 1. I did not write down which rifle it was.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at page 258 of the pulp book, and
I
there
assume it's
is
the basic one.
all kinds of rifles.
Presumably something fairly small. I'm also thinking, can you fire? I would say if you're firing a rifle that's hands off everything to take pot shots, it's probably a bit more dangerous
I can
than just
steer
a,
with
a
my
little
knees.
bit. I agree. It's going to be a penalty dice to steer with your knees, but I think
that's
that isn't.
fair enough.
I think there's a case for it.
All right.
Let's-
Well, the cheapest two rifles are the 22 bolt action rifle and the 30 lever action carbine.
did you lift this off one of the enemies? Because I can just look at their
No,
stats.
no, it was one I had.
It was a BYO.
Yeah. Just for like wild animals and such.
Okay,
The I can
is what he's
steer
got
with
it
my
for.
knees is continuing the dad energy that the doctor has.
Yes.
I can tell you I
mean,
prefer
Dorky dad energy.
I can tell you prefer the lever action carbine because it does more damage.
Yeah, and
I
it's
have,
also
I've put a
pretty
default.
sweet.
The default one I have is 2d6 at 100 yards with 6 shots.
Oh,
That's
oh
the,
my
that's
goodness.
the one I have. I don't know what it was. I just kind of went, that'll do. That seems right.
that's
You
even
don't want
fancier.
you don't want the musket
I'm tempted.
in the sky, trying to jam powder. All right, go ahead and take the lever action. That's all yours. That works for
All
me.
right, great.
And it will be
30.
as it closes. Then, if you can spend your turn. You can try and do evasive maneuvers to evade this thing and stop it from getting close enough to attack, or you can just take a shot at it. But it will, clip and then it'll finish closing the distance. Actually,
I would
first I'm going to need a
probably-
sanity roll from you. Sorry, I did forget that.
It's true.
Now you have seen these things before, so you're going to reduce the sanity hit.
Hooray. All
Okay,
good.
that's a success.
Nice.
No sanity loss taken. You all but accounted for this. You knew what this thing was. Yeah.
All right. Well, now that I've satisfied what my rifle is, I will first try to take some evasive maneuvers.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there would the canopy be too dense for me to try to duck in and out of some
You can
trees?
try. It'd be pretty sweet. I'd say it'll probably be difficult, but you can have a go at it. So there's thick cloud cover, which is what it sort of burst out of. It's come out of a ravine in the distance, which is approximately the direction you thought you were going, where it took off and surged towards you. It's still a little ways away. There is cloud cover all around you that you could try and dance through, and then underneath there is the thick overgrowth. As you are scanning everything here, could you actually make a spot hidden roll for me?
I would love to. Hey, extreme success.
There
I spot
is-
all that is hidden.
There is actually a section not far beyond where the group are heading, where the trees have opened somewhat. A trail through them, which you would be able to dive the plane through, and you might be able to just make it on the inside. It could possibly even be a potential landing site.
Well, Dave, that's where I'm going to go.
Okay. All right. You careen around and then begin to race down towards it. Can you give me a piloting roll, please, and thank you?
I thought you'd never ask. And hup.
Oh, he's
Oh my
very
God,
good.
success.
He is good.
Oh my
he is very,
gosh.
very good.
Hell yeah.
All right,
Wait, is he
Unlike
driving
Art.
with his knees?
And unlike Art, I will take full credit for these two extreme rolls in a row. That was all skill, baby.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, take
All
it.
in the wrist.
All
like
in
click
the, it's
the
all in the
button with
clicking
flair.
action. You gotta. It's one of these. Yeah, you gotta go for the click motion.
With the rifle still stowed, you wrench on the steering stick thing, and suddenly the plane spins and begins to dive down towards the tray line. You're racing forward, hair streaming back, wind buffeting at your goggles. All the flaps are open or closed, whichever makes it go quicker. You cut down, skimming along the highest point of the trees, and then just as you're about to descend down beneath them, you realize what's made this path. Trees have been shoved from one side to the other, bashed away to clear a trail through which some giant monstrosity has tread. Now, you got extremes on both of these rolls. You have the final option to heave back on this, the last minute skim up and away, or take your chances under the tree line and try and find a spot to land or avoid the creature pursuing you.
If it's something this, like it's like some kind of big creature
It's
has made this path.
massive. It presumably
Then
it's
it's-
the same one or one of the same ilk that tore up the trees back near the farm.
then it's presumably can't fly and is slow. So I like my odds with it better than the thing in the sky.
All right. You dive down underneath the tree cover and begin to rush along the ground, which is where we park you, and go back to Hubert. You've got one has been bagged, and two are dancing around underneath Minnie, trying to scramble up and bite at her feet. Can you make a sanity roll, actually, when we start?
Yes, I am very happy to do that. There's your sanity roll, and it's not a fumble.
Not a fumble. That'll be a D3 points, please, and thank you, James.
All right, 1d3 coming out with a 1.
That gets us to an even 50. That's nice.
Exactly. Now, I was going to do a whole bit where I was going to try and calm this thing down, and Hubert is convinced that it will be a pet, and it will not be. But Minnie's in trouble, so I can't stop. So I will yell, Minnie, and I will run forward, and I will let my bag swing down into my arm, knowing that my hand, knowing that it's still in, and I will use it as a makeshift mace to slam down, knowing that the other one is inside it.
Deeply funny. All right, go ahead and swing with it. This will be an improvised weapon, so it's not going to deal a ton of damage, but it will deal it to both of the creatures. So go ahead.
I will be targeting the one that has successfully bitten Minnie.
Okay, all right.
I'm just gonna stick my leg out as soon as Hubert's like, Minnie. I'm just gonna stick my leg out at like a right angle. I'm like, get it!
All right, here we go. I try. Do I have enough luck for it? No. I really want this thing dead. I'm gonna lock it. That's what it's here for. God, that's a lot of luck. That is 20, 30, 24, I think. No, wait, I'll figure it out. I hit it.
Okay. It unclenches long enough to transfer its ire towards you and lunges at you.
26.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a failure, so you are going to deal the damage. That is going to be a D4 plus your damage bonus to both creatures.
That's 1d4 plus 1d6, landing on 6 damage to both.
They have 4 health.
So like you whap one and it just flings off and hits a tree.
The one that you hold up the leg, it tries to leap and just midair. The golf swing practice comes in true.
Yes.
Strike it goes thrown across, and you hear a sort of a wet crunching sound from inside your bag as the second one completely ruins the remnants of the trail mix that you'd been saving for the way back.
No, don't say that. It's gonna be okay. It's fine. Can we apply 1 point of armor for the bag?
You can pick the gore out. It'll be okay. All right, strike 2 more. There is 1 remaining, and it is no, the bag one's dead. All right, it is the one that is attached to Minnie. So Lieutenant Carter,
the other one that's like lunging at me. There's the other one that I was like dancing away from. There's one left.
The second friend, Lieutenant Carter. It's going to be yourself.
Cool. Stab it.
You charge forward and go to start.
Just kind of like.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, that's rude.
Rude.
No, that's fine. I'm fine with it. There's 3 of us and 1 of it. Someone's gonna kill it. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I murdered 4 of them. We're fine.
Say one thing for the vested rats. Say that they are fighters. This one goes down to the last. Stab. Mm-hmm. Yes. It deals 0 damage. Its weapon is too small. And as it lunges towards you, it will be rebuffed. Oh, damn it, you champion. Come on, bring it home. Minnie, it's your turn. This is the one that's it's between it. All 4 of you are in a brawl with the 3 of you stabbing down towards this one little thing.
I feel like I have to fighting brawl it. I have to try and stomp it. I'm going to say, obviously, my fighting brawl is terrible, but I have to try.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, it is going to attempt to riposte. It has a penalty dice on this second one.
Come on, you champion.
Oh.
It has a penalty dice.
Oh, yay.
All right, it's trying its best, but unfortunately the numbers are getting to it. It's falling away. But I'd say it is its turn. Minnie, it's going to attempt to strike at you.
Because this is the
Yep.
thing, the only way you get skills up in this
Gonna-
game is by trying them.
Yeah, you
and,
gotta
you know,
get in
this
there.
is the time to do it. With the little rat
Exactly.
guys.
Start to step.
Exactly. I'm gonna riposte.
Okay, let's go. You go ahead and roll yours first.
It's gonna. Yeah. I'm just. Oh, that's.
Oh, it's so close.
Ooh.
That is
Would you
luckable.
like-
Lucking it will
I'm
not
gonna
let
luck
you
it.
tick it, but you will get
Yeah.
the damage dealt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
we're not allowed to take things when we luck them, though. That's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
awful.
Will not let
Yeah,
you.
oh,
Yeah,
gotcha,
I'm just
okay, yeah.
clarifying
Oh,
that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Got confused. I was like, wait, you can take it if you luck
Normally?
it?
I might actually luck that to a hard.
Ooh. Okay.
I want to
Yeah.
get this little shit
All right.
because that's not out of the realm of lucking to a hard.
No, that's gonna be 17 points.
Yeah.
Okay. This thing screams once more, raises the hackles on its fur, and attempts to burrow through the heel of your boot to devour your the base of your foot from below.
So this thing needs a hard to beat you.
It does, and it intends to get it. Come on, you champion! Yeah, let's go. Fighter to the last.
damage.
You could reduce that by 1 for your heavy armor, but it has gone through the base of your boot, chewing through
Again.
leather and wood like it is
God damn
nothing.
it.
And you can actually feel it
Wait.
beginning to squirm up towards your feet and biting down into it.
Oh
Hold
my
on,
god.
I'm looking at the maths here.
Yeah, it's
Maybe
a
it should be
D4
higher
plus.
because its attack is D6 minus 2. So would an extreme be 6 plus D6
Oh, and it's actually,
minus 2?
sorry, this one's different because
subtracted
with
it
the knife,
twice.
and also because with the knife it does do impaling. So this is
Oh
actually
my
going to be
God.
more. So you're right. So this is going to be a D6 maximum. So it's going to be 6 plus a D6 minus 2.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
my
what it's
god.
rolled.
So it
That's
could
what
be
it's-
10
that's-
damage.
No, that's what it's rolled, but it subtracted the 2 twice.
Okay, so it's just.
But I
should be
think
5.
the damage bonus applies to your extreme as well. Does it not? Oh, no, sorry. Yeah.
The damage bonus only ever applies
At the end,
once.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually 5
Okay, perfect. All right, so it's going to be
because
5.
it rolled a 1 on its impale.
It tried its best. All right, good. Thank you for checking that, Jackson.
That's all right.
Actually, don't know if
I am
clicked it.
bleeding profusely.
Okay, you take
From
5
the
damage from
foot.
this little thing as it scrabbles up and is now attempting to, get its chew on. All right, that is
Somebody
it.
kill this thing.
We go back to the skies where Dr. Sam, as you descend down, winding into the trees, the thing pursuing you catches like the backdraft, throws out its wings open to slow its descent, and cuts up and away, avoiding pursuit. It seems to be leaving for some reason or another. As we go to you and you begin to whine one way or the other, for a moment, you suddenly, like out of the corner of your vision, as you flick along, you see something shift, something immense as it rises up. And can I get, actually, what are you doing? Are you attempting to land? Are you attempting to scan? Are you attempting to be sneaky and stealthy? What are you going for here?
Yeah, I guess I assumed that whatever was down here was going to be slow. I'm gonna keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna put the wheels down, but I'm not going to come to a stop yet in case I need to take off again.
Oh, so you are moving. You are intending, but you are moving to land though.
Yeah, I think I'll bring the wheels down so that I can keep my options open.
Okay.
So I can stop or take off again for as much space as I have, while searching for any new threats that may
Okay.
arise.
Okay. So do you want to? Either will apply. Do you want to go for stealth and try and basically land without being spotted and then get a sense of the situation, or are you going for spot hidden and understanding that you may be noticed one way or the other and you'll have to act on? And if you have landed, taking off is not necessarily a super quick process.
Yeah. I don't think I can argue stealth with the plane.
I think you can.
But
I
also
think it's you cutting down and landing quickly and getting it out of the way.
I got
It's all
terrible.
just-
I got terrible stealth anyway.
Alright.
So I'm going to assume that I wasn't being stealthy. So I'm going to assume something here is going to spot me. So I'd like to spot it first.
Okay, go ahead and make a spot hidden roll. And the intent is to land, right?
The intent is to land if I do not spot any threats. If I spot
Okay.
a threat, reevaluate and take off again.
As you are descending underneath the tree line, cutting along, you spot the thing following you, bail basically, and return in the direction where it came from. And as you're winding along, this is a potential place to land where you can reconvene with the others. You catch something among the trees, beginning to pull itself to its highest point as you wheel away and try and sort of scout a landing. And this is still like trees and things, like you're weaving through them and trying to find a place where you can stop. There is a path, but it is like it's an open section, but there's still like debris and things. This is just what this monster smashed out of the way. It's not a perfect landing strip. You see now pulling itself to its highest point a massive giant creature. It is coated with scraggly blue fur that hangs down shaggy around it. It has 4 immense arms, sort of gorilla in dimension and scale to the rest of its body, but larger still. This thing towers above the tree line at its highest point, pulling itself higher, easily outsizing the largest elephants you've seen in your travels through Africa and India. This thing pulls itself to its highest point. You can see it's got 4 eyes above it, and its mouth that clicks open is more like an insectoid mandible, all covered with this shaggy sort of like shifting blue fur. Its arms are only 4 fingers on each, but at the end points they have these massive black talons that are gripping into the tree lines, and it has not necessarily spotted you yet. That's going to come down to a roll, which I am rolling now and privately.
Oh dear.
Okay. You spot this as you come through, and as you cut past, you see it follow along with you for a moment. Can I get you to make a sanity roll as well as you spot this and plan your escape, attack, retreat, whichever verb you plan to employ?
That's fine.
Okay, just go ahead and take 1 point for me, please.
Overall, are we talking like a gorillaoid kind of shape?
Gorillaoid. Yes,
form?
but much larger in
but big
size.
And blue and 4 eyes and mandibles.
That's right.
Wait, and you said 4 arms?
Yeah.
Do you mean 2 legs and 4 arms?
2 legs and 4 arms, yeah.
Absurd. This is absurd, Dave.
It's got an extra couple of legs and arms. No extra legs.
Oh my goodness.
It's got redundant arms in case of delimbing.
Us.
Yeah, in case investigators find it.
Heck. Was that my turn, or do you need something more from me?
That was you just assessing. Now you can decide if you want to land, if you want to bail, if you want to divert. Up to you.
And
You believe this thing has
spotted
you.
me.
You believe it has.
How far is it?
A decent ways away, and through tree line. But it's tall enough that if you were scouting along tree lines, it might move to actually grab up towards you or something.
I am in this thing's territory. I don't know how fast it is yet. I'm going to keep trying to fly at a slow speed along the path.
And the intent is to find somewhere where you can land and join the others, or...
Yeah, I'm going to try to navigate my way back to the others. Because this is the same path that they were following, wasn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
or it's
that's what
it's in the direction of it. You were navigating with Lancet's assistance.
I'll do that, and I'll get an idea about how fast it is. And if I'm leading it to my friends, then I'll reassess.
Okay.
But that's what I'll do for now.
Okay, so you try and sort of swing around and follow after it. This thing begins to pull itself to its feet, and in the distance we go now to Hubert. You hear the cracking of a tree somewhere in the distance, or something is being uprooted as if by heavy hurricane force winds. It is your turn, Mr. Smith. What would you like to do?
They have brought the cavalry. All right, I'm looking ahead. I've got something more critical to deal with. Minnie is bleeding out. I've seen my allies dancing around, trying to stab this thing, stomp this thing. Nothing's working. It's too quick. I've seen one thing work. I'm going to put it in the bag.
You're going to go for a fighting brawl?
I would like to go for a fighting maneuver, and I would like to grab this thing and shove it in the bag.
Okay. All right. It is going to attempt to dodge to get the hell out of that because it's not invested in going in the bag. It saw what happened to the last one.
It's about to see it up real close and personal.
Go ahead and make it.
No, it's not. I failed.
Okay. I won't bother with the dodge then. It tumbles out of the way, continues to just scramble at Minnie's health.
Fighting me.
It's going to be Lieutenant Carter.
Great. I'm gonna stab it again.
Okay.
Unless shooting it at this point, it will be easier. I assume.
I do not think it would.
If you shoot it, it doesn't get a riposte.
If you stand back,
Don't shoot my foot.
if you shoot it, you're gonna it's gonna be penalized for it being small, and a further one for Minnie being also Hubert being joined in the brawl. Shooting it would be quite difficult at this point.
That's fine. I will stab it. I'm assuming it does not take any penalties for it being surrounded at this point.
For each consecutive one, it is attempted to dodge once, so if it dodges again, it will take a penalty. It's going to riposte, so it won't,
okay.
but it absolutely does for each consecutive.
Nah.
Womp. Oh, that's good.
Thank you.
It is going to riposte, so yours is going to win regardless. I'm going to roll for it just to see if this little champion can go out fighting.
If it gets a crit, it technically, I think.
It can win. There's a chance.
Crit.
No.
It didn't crit.
There's -1 damage.
Cool.
It heals you on the way
damage.
out.
Does it heal me when it's unconscious?
I'm sorry.
I would like to just go ring around the rosy my ass and just stab straight down and just pin it in the leaf matter of the ground.
Yes, as it. Because if it's riposting, it's going to unlatch from my foot when that happens. And again, just leg straight out. Just
and just have it like do its little convulsing, dying cockroach thing, and then be like,
Hell yeah. Skewers through
fan
it
of vermin.
into the plant matter. And the last one is slain. In the distance, you can hear the tree being uprooted or something. And suddenly Lancet
That's a
cuts through the trees, swoops around you, and then darts away in the direction, presumably towards Dr. Sam, and giving you some sort of insight into the matter. I presume works with you, Dr. Sam, right? To sort of, if the attempt was to coordinate and get their attention into what's happening.
Yeah, but I don't want to lead this monster directly to them.
Yes, but this way they're at least aware that something is happening. It's
Sure, yeah. Overall, the intention is to meet up again.
okay. Awesome. What are the three of you doing on the ground?
I think given there's a loud noise, we should get moving. We should get some height. We should get away from this place where there was just a fight. We probably start kind of like coasting up towards the mountain, kind of guiding around where Lancet is directing us.
Okay, so continuing on the path.
Mm-hmm.
And pushing
with haste. Minnie presumably limping at the back, I guess.
I would say if you want to attempt to apply first aid now, the window is closing. So now would be the one where you want to stop in.
I can attempt it. I'm not good at. I'm not Sam, but I can try.
I'm not trained.
Please do.
So
Please do.
I am just trained. I will.
Go ahead then. Yep.
Okay.
Can Hubert assist me if he's not trained?
I don't think you have. I don't think you're adding value to it in this one.
I also have something important I want to do as well. So
Very good. Miss Sinclair, hold still, please. Hard success.
Nice.
nice.
Do you know the healing off the top of your head, Jackson? For pulp?
1d3, isn't it?
It might be
That's for medicine.
bit of a-
Yeah, first aid just restores us at flat hit points.
I think it might be more in pulp as my.
Yeah.
Pulp. I'm almost sure.
I thought that was, it's 1d3 in pulp, but I guess.
Here it is, page 66 is successful first aid and medicine is increased to 1d4 hit points.
There we go. Okay. So you can restore 1d4.
Good stuff.
Shall I roll as?
You could, if you're luck at 2 points, can you just restore 4 flat for an extreme?
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Sure. I have an inordinate amount of luck, so yes, I'll give you 2 points of luck, and you can have the 4.
Thank you.
All right. So crouched down amidst the rat carnage. Minnie, your foot is cleaned out and then bandaged, and then the boot reapplied. Hubert, you said you wanted to be doing something while this is happening.
Yes, I'm going to go over to the champion rat that survived this long, bend down, and I would like to carefully unbutton its vest and take it and put it in my bag. I'm going to give it to Enrico to replicate down the road because I think it's...
You want to get your own rat-style vest? It's the new cutting trend. Yeah, hell
There is definitely a solid, slit either in the front or the back where the bayonet went through. But
I will divest all of the rats so that by aggregate of all of them
they'll be able to replicate.
Reverse engineer.
Hell yeah.
Very good. I am hesitant to move towards something that sounds like uprooting trees. I would rather get us into a safe location if Miss Sinclair's been hurt.
I think we skirt it, so let's keep heading along.
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm okay. I feel a lot better now that it's cleaned out and wrapped and the booze back. I feel okay. I'm okay.
You are also rather inebriated, Miss Sinclair.
No, I'm not. I'm just a little bit tipsy. And I, in fact, am just a little bit tipsy. I haven't spent the luck on it, and I'm not. Yeah.
No, I know.
I spent a little bit on it, but
Sinclair knows that you're not.
She's not rather inebriated, no.
It's less a comment on your current demeanor and more a comment on Sinclair has been tracking how much you've been. Sorry, Carter's been looking, and you've drunk a lot. And Carter has seen you drunk before and knows it doesn't hit you that hard, but is like, you drunk a lot.
I'm not applying the mechanical effects, so no,
Yeah.
she is not. She is in fact not inebriated.
Well, look, if you're okay to move, Minnie, let's go. Let's skirt this thing. Let's head up, continue along the path, but sort of veer around it so we can try and get a view.
I think so, yes. And that was I saw that Dr. Sam might be having a bit of an issue potentially if Lancet is doing a drive-by.
Very good. Well, eyes and ears then, please.
Let's go.
And I'll keep my pistol out. I will also take the time to reload the 3 that I used, so it's full clip again.
Okay. So the 3 of you pick back up the path and continue to push through the woods and higher up the mountain. As you go, you'll see more signs of what feels like a gap between the waking world and the next. It's sort of a strange fugue state you enter where you'll walk for a period and almost forget that the time has passed. You'll sort of have to blink back sleep from your eyes, and when you rub at them, you'll be left with sort of like smeary oil stains of after effects that take you a while to sort of pull yourself back into it. It's as if you're forcing yourself forward through water. You can breathe fine though. Very clearly beginning to sort of shift into some other state though, and with every foot forward the effect becomes more apparent. Conversation kind of lapses or just shifts into idle matter. It's a strange direction to be traveling in. Elsewhere, Dr. Sam continues to cut through the skies and avoid this horrible creature, which is looking to have a little smack. You can swing around past it, and you are aware that you've got its attention, and as it lumbers up to its height, you realize that although this thing is certainly slowed by its mass, it is not necessarily it's still reasonably quick, and as it begins to pull itself up, it shifts along between 2 of the trees and reaches out towards you, an arm large enough that if it closes the fist, it will puncture both of the wings on your flying machine and catch you in the air as you go past. Can you please make a it's not close enough to close the distance, but it is moving to do so. What are you doing? You kind of kept your distance so far.
Alrighty. Alright, it's quick. I don't want to leave it to all my friends. I want to try to stay out of its reach. So I'm going to pull up again, but also make sure that if the flying things come back, it sees the gorilla thing, because I think the flying lizard. What do we call the flying things? Flying lizards?
I've got them as horrible winged thing in my.
I've got them as danger noodles.
I personally just think of them as lizard bastards.
I am hoping that the horrible flying danger noodle lizard bastards are scared of the blue gorilla.
It did appear to retreat from the blue gorilla.
I would like to stay close enough to the blue gorilla that, it'll scare off the flying lizards, but not so close that it can't grab me.
Okay.
And I know that's a tall order, but it's all I got.
Yeah, you're running the gambit. You're treading the realm between both.
While also not leading the gorilla to all my friends.
Third caveat.
Oh my gosh.
The space that you're
And
flying.
he's driving with your knees. So,
And the prom's in an hour.
And the bomb's going to explode in 6 hours.
Which, yes.
and there's a plague.
Continuing to wind down here between trees is quite difficult, and you quickly begin to there's just not far enough to go, and it's almost impossible. You have a penalty if you want to stay here. The other one would be to push back up above the tree line and sort of stay low enough that potentially those winged things don't want to risk approach, but you are aware that the direction that your allies are heading will take them towards that ravine where that thing took off from. That is the way that they are traveling. That is the way that the path will take them. It will also have them skirting around where this thing is.
Good. All right. Where are we going? We're going to the ravine,
You're
right?
You're following the path that you found.
Which leads to the ravine.
Seems to.
All right. In that
It also
case,
showed sign of serpent person activity, and the intent was to cut them off at the head.
I'll continue with my plan as mentioned, but I think now is the time to get Lancet to try to lead my friends toward the ravine, but not toward the gorilla.
Okay. All right. So you're gonna try and scroll the note, and twist it up and give it to Lancet.
Well, yeah. No, I don't think I need a note. I think it's like, I don't know how far we can push this whole animal companion pulp talent, but it's like, hey. And I'm using my eyes like, and just be like, we're all going to go to the ravine. You got to get the folks down the ground to go to the ravine, but not near the gorilla. The gorilla bad, dangerous.
What's that, boy? The doctor flew down the ravine?
Fight the gorilla. We got something about a gorilla. The Lancet's drunk. This doesn't make any sense. Okay. This is gonna be less clear because it's not an explicit note, but Lancet understands danger, and Lancet doesn't love that gorilla thing any more than anyone else.
Yeah.
So it effectively stopping the others going towards it, it can handle that.
Yeah.
However, that does mean Lancet's gonna need to stay with them to kind of
That's fine.
deter.
Yeah, that was the plan. Yep.
And also
while
because
I lead the gorilla far enough away that we can all get to the ravine without a problem.
Okay, I dig it. So as you attempt to communicate with Lancet, you sort of swing on to one side, the wings tip, and you just cut by one of the trees, pull back up.
See, I didn't want to be writing a note while I'm doing that.
You try and pull back up to evade the next tree line, and for a moment you burst out from above. You can see the mountain climbing towards the sky in the distance, surrounded by clouds, and towards the ravine, you can see where like the colors seem to sort of seep through and become more vibrant, oversaturated. For a moment you're caught by it, looking at it, and then suddenly a massive arm erupts from the tree cover, reaches up to graze towards the clouds above, and then swings down towards you. If you want to attempt to dodge, you're going to use your piloting skill. You could also try and swing loose your rifle and take a shot at it as it collapses towards you.
I've got the cheapest rifle money can buy, and I just saw that, in fact, one of the rifles you can buy is an elephant gun, which does 3d6 damage.
Oh, yeah,
that's what I need if I'm going to be shooting at this thing. I don't have one.
Yeah, that's something for the next mission.
Yeah. So, yes, I will evade with my piloting skill.
Okay, hell yeah. Go ahead and make a piloting roll.
Excellent. I got heaps of luck, so the only thing I need is to not fumble. Damn it. A success, a hard success.
Okay. It is going to tack towards you. It comes screaming out of the... turn off whisper to keep it. That is a failure, but the damage is evident. As it whips through the sky, moving to crush you, you dart out of the way of the first, and then suddenly the second limb plunges up towards you and moves to grab you. It's like it's 4 arms.
It's got too many.
It has 2 attacks per round. What do you wish to do for the second? Continue to evade?
Another dodge.
Go for it. Roll again.
Another dodge. Success. Dodges win ties.
Dodges win ties.
Do I need to make that hard? He's got a skill of 60. He'd need to roll 30 to beat my dodge.
If it hits you, you will die.
23 points of luck to make that a hard dodge.
Okay. You wrench on the machine. It swings out past. The second one suddenly is right in front of you, and you have to pull straight up, climbing as fast as you can towards the cloud cover. The little propellers as you rise. Can you make it in time? That is a hard success.
Yes!
And that is a hard success from me as well. Exactly on the nose. It's only luck that saves Dr. Sam. As the
From
limbs,
23 damage?
as the hand goes to close, you actually spiraled between two of the fingers, close enough to see the webbing beneath them and the massive raking nails that scratch down, and then you punch up past it above the cloud cover, and for a moment, all below you is just a sort of a milky morass. Although you can still make out the mountain in the distance. And with this creature's attention, you will be able to pull it away for a time. What direction are you taking it in? So if you take it straight away from where the others are going, that risks leading it towards the farm. You could try and take it much deeper, but there are people in this area. You don't want to take it too far, and straight down the mountain would take it into the actual, like, the populated regions of North Borneo and would carry even further risk. You have its attention for the time being, though. You could also just weave it around and kind of keep it in this place, or take it a little bit further. Yeah.
A little bit further away from the ravine, but not like, off into the off in the wild blue wander. Wild blue yonder. You know what I'm trying to say.
A suggestion?
I would love that. I don't know what I'm doing.
You could take it to the military base. If anybody's going to be able to shoot the shit out of a giant monster.
I don't love that suggestion.
I do. I don't like the military.
They have rules not to let anything in. Open fire.
Expose them to the madness of the mythos. See what happens when you give Captain Lancaster.
Sanity loss. Captain that dude's sanity loss doesn't appeal.
I think that will end poorly for more people.
Yeah. They also didn't
thank you
have
for the suggestion.
heavy artillery. They had rifles. You are right. There's probably the best chance of taking it out. It is still not a great fight.
A good chance.
Okay. So Dr. Sam winds back and forth throughout the area, trying to drag it away. And down on the ground, as the three of you are pushing further forward, Lancet it's kind of like that. It's kind of in dreams where the state shifts and you can't quite remember what happened. Lancet is with you now and is sort of keeping direction, keeping you pushing in one way. With each foot as you march further forward, you can feel the state of this area affecting your mind. Can I get all three of you to make power rolls?
Ooh.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Now, is it your first time in a weird dream state rodeo? You're able to sort of hold yourselves in there. Does anyone have any particular centering tricks that you're using, like pulling yourself into smelling salts, so to give yourself a hit and remind you of your physicality? You're plunging your nails into your into your palms as you march, or is it just rigor?
It's booze.
It's booze. It is a little hit. Okay, a nip from time to time.
Just a little nip. Just a little whiff.
Carter's is just pure training.
It's the march.
Hubert's too easily distracted to drift off. There's a strange shimmering light that would be able to. But there's also the weird smell from it. And over there, there's a squishy thing, and Lancet just flew past, kind of.
You're just having too much fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all kind of too good. Okay. You continue to march forward for a time, and eventually you've risen up significantly through altitude, and now you're beginning to see those wisps of clouds at the portion where you're moving through. You come to a large landslide that must have happened not too long ago, because there is no fresh vegetation grown above the rocks. It's still just churned over soil and broken pieces. And the trail that you've been following, seeing occasional, a mark or a track from a boot print or something to follow, seems to lead straight towards this and then beyond. It seems to have hovered here for a time, skirting the area, and then cuts along it and pushes forward to where you can see in the distance a ravine where it looks as though the mountain has shifted and a crack in it has opened up. At this point from here, you will also all spot in the distance Dr. Sam, because you're now high enough that you can actually see him, is sort of basically like a figure 8 shape in the distance and sort of a holding pattern. No sign of anything beneath him. The clouds have lowered a little bit over the forest at this point. What do the three of you want to do?
I'm having some concerns about getting into this place and getting out again. Our original intent for this was a scouting mission, no?
Yeah. Confirm. We have basic confirmation of, serpent person and mythos activity here now. I mean, based on what we've seen, we definitely know that something's up. So we've got to get in there and we've got to stop whatever is up. That's our goal.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be the place. There's not going to be, anywhere else to go to do this.
That's reasonable. Do we have the resources we need to do this right now? Given that whatever made that horrifying sound seems to have originally been between us and our goal. If
we have our wits and our weapons and Dr. Sam's marvelous flying machine, and I'm not sure what else we could acquire or carry.
Well, we also have the Haftarang device. This area. I mean, we've talked about sort of miles. Would it be conceivable that we could tune the device to sort of blow up the weird area, basically?
Remember, it's a door.
You could try it.
Do we want to open a door in the weird area?
Well, I reckon there's clearly something here that's wrong.
The trail appears to continue from beyond here. It appears that something stopped here. Actually, Hubert, could you give me a track roll to see if you can gain some additional insight just before you come to a decision, or see if there's anything more you can be acting on?
I don't have the luck to...
Oh, I thought you said... Sorry, do you not have track? That's my bad.
No, sorry.
Okay, all the same. It appears to have stopped here at some point. You guys can continue to investigate the area. That was just seeing if you could get anything further. It also pushes further beyond. Pass it back to the three of you.
I reckon we follow it. I reckon I don't want to go, we had so much trouble getting in. I don't want to go out and go in again. I think we fire on. We try to get the center of whatever this is, and then Lancet, was leading us. I think if we get there, then hopefully Dr. Sam can join us. Ideally, we find something to blow up with this bomb, and then we, I'm thinking the equivalent of we find whatever strange, evil serpent person-y, guarded by giant snakes area is in the middle of all of this, and we put a bomb in it, and then we leave.
Very good. As long as we're all aware that if all of us die in this mission, no one's getting saved from that disease.
Very true.
Yep, we will do our best to not die.
Right. Well, if the mission is to deposit this device in the best location possible, then let us proceed.
Okay. So you're going to continue to push forward rather than stopping here to investigate or anything?
Is there, at a glance, there's a bunch of trees that have been...
there was a landslide.
Mangled in a very similar way to what we saw before. And I assume we've seen that there is... Sorry.
The trees don't seem to be mangled in the similar way you've seen before. That creature may not have been up here, or it's not evidence that it has. It might have. It looks as though a natural landslide swept through the area, carrying trees and rocks and shit, and basically just devastating a section of the terrain. And traveling through here is quite precarious at this point, as you're picking your way over rocks. And again, you're all succeeded, so you're with it, but you're constantly pulling yourself back into reality as you feel your mind is beginning to drift and wander elsewhere. Yeah, you could do natural world to get a sense of it. Are you basically pushing forward? You can continue to follow the trail, pick your way through this terrain towards a ravine, or you can stop here and
I feel like the more time we spend here, the more likely we are to succumb to whatever this thing is that's muddying everything, and more likely that noise we heard might come back. So I would rather do this quickly.
Just press on.
Also, we do have a time limit.
we are in a bit of a time limit. Am I able to, with the things and the stuff that's messing with our brains, am I able to make an occult roll to see if there's anything we can, if I've read about this, and if there's anything that I know to do to help us keep our wits about us?
Yeah, you've actually got so you rolled quite well. I think it was either a crit or an extreme last session, and you actually got access to a new skill.
Yes, the
dream lore
thing.
That you could roll against. So that would be your further understanding of what it is that is affecting you. That or Cthulhu Mythos.
I have a D6. I've got occult.
You have a D6. It'll also have a base. I believe it's got a base of a fifth of your intelligence. No, that's dreaming.
Okay.
Never mind. I think it's gonna be so you're gonna have a D6 at your start. So go ahead and roll that and add it to your skill sheet as well. You might as well try and roll under it because you could begin to improve it and study it. See if you can.
So when I roll on it, it's just a D6.
Roll a D6 first, and that's your starting level at it, and then it can improve as per your standard. Okay, so it's gonna be starting at a base of 4.
Can any of us assist, given we all have Cthulhu Mythos at this point?
I think I'm alright with that. If Lieutenant Carter, you could assist while Hubert, you make your natural world roll, if that's what you want to be considering.
That sounds good to me.
I would, if I can roll occult, that would be amazing. Not mythos
This is your
specifically
understanding.
mythos?
This is specifically for this section of it. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I will assist. So at least you have a bonus with some Cthulhu Mythos and intelligence of 90. I feel like I should be able to assist with this.
Yeah, you could attempt to
base
further
Cthulhu
once you get back
Mythos.
to your books and things. You might get a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. No. No.
Okay. Your new understanding of this is still, it's basic. You can tell that there is strangers afoot. You can tell that it appears to be getting stronger the further along this path you go. And you have an instinct that this is tied to that, research you uncovered back at the camp, that this is some sort of leaking between a world parallel to ours and reality itself. Something is beginning to move in here. And given this sort of invasion of strange dreamlike creatures, they are dangerous and hostile as well. The longer this continues, the more they push out, this could have a real risk to people in the area, possibly beyond.
Cool.
Hubert, do you want to go for a natural world roll?
Certainly. Here we go. No dice.
Okay. Landslide, no signs of anything suspicious beyond that. It looks as though there has been some, shifting of things around here. It could have been natural animals moving through it, or possibly that monster coming past. But you can't see any clear, detonation that set it off or anything like that.
Look, we got an objective. We just got to keep moving.
Okay.
Right. Did you... Anything come to mind, Miss Sinclair?
It's weird, and we shouldn't let it continue if we can avoid it. It's going to... It could spread. It could go down to the village. It could affect other people. I think we have to push on and do what we can to stop this as well.
Very good. Well, objective. Stop everything. We've got a bomb that usually does vague things in the realm of stopping, so let's continue. Nicely done, Miss Sinclair. Appreciate your insight, and...
I sidle over and kind of...
Oh, Mr. Smith, did you uncover anything?
No, it's fine. Don't worry. I just thought while we were handing out congratulations, I can...
It's always best to be in the line.
You're doing
Onwards.
a great job, Hubert.
Thank you, Minnie.
Yes, excellent work on makeshift koshing those vermin.
Yeah, you were a crack shot.
I'm aware. Shall we?
Let's go.
Hubert, are you feeling kind of snacky yet? Do we get any trail mix?
I keep sticking my hand in absent-mindedly, pulling some out, and then there's blood everywhere, so,
Nuts. Okay. You pick your way along this line of rocks and debris, heading towards the ravine on the other side, and eventually you see Dr. Sam, who's in the distance, Dr. Sam, if it suits, I would say Lancet will take off and come back to you, given they've gone far enough away that you can possibly attempt to come back around and reconvene. Lancet will do that, and Dr. Sam will begin to soar off towards you. This section as well, even though it's coated in rubble and things, has cleared tree line enough that you might be able to attempt a fairly bumpy landing, although again, taking off is a bit of a risk. The alternative is the ravine, which you know to be populated by some number of those horrible winged things. Lieutenant Carter, Mr. Smith, and Minnie, could you please give me dexterity rolls as you pick your way through these rocks and things to see if you can do so without twisting an ankle?
Yes.
I'm chucking that, obviously.
Okay.
Just 5 luck, that's fine.
Could I argue a survival check for this?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And go ahead and roll with a bonus dice, Hubert. This is literally your area of expertise. Is
I do enjoy hiking. No bonus dice. I'm just going to roll twice.
Oh, he's good. That'll be a 0-6. Nice.
Should be 0-6, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be technically a 0-6, which is still an extreme success. So.
It's 1 off, I believe. Right? No, sorry. No, I stand corrected. 10 would be. You are right. Yeah, no, well handled. So Minnie with 5 points of luck. All 3 of you are able to pick your way through this area. It's a fairly sizable landslide. This would have been quite significant and fairly devastating to the area. And by the time you get towards the other side, you can spot where the ground has sort of cracked and shifted a bit, and there are now crevices beginning to run through the ground. And on the other side, it opens up much more significantly towards a large ravine. From this point, you're kind of moving cautiously. There's still that dream state beginning to filter through your ears and across your eyes and muddying everything slightly and then oversaturating the remainder. But you can get a sense that there are things shifting on the other side of the ravine where occasionally something will clamber up along one edge of the wall. Before you go too much further, because you can see Dr. Sam approaching, you'll halt at this section and at least be able to sort of... You could send messages back and forth. Dr. Sam could try and land. It's up to the 4 of you. As Dr. Sam, you rejoin the others, having woven distractions for some time, and are now looking down at a torn up section of the ground. From your eye line in the sky, it's clear that this landslide is either directly related to or... The timing is it is right next to the ravine. It looks as though what caused one might have caused the other, or they may have happened in sync. And along the ravine as well, you can see where trees have tumbled down towards it recently. They've still got, fresh leaves, although they have fallen forward and will die soon. You are also aware that there are more and more of those things, those winged things along the ravine side. And on your return, you've kept quite low atop the tree line, hoping that the threat of the large blue gorilla will be enough to deter them. I passed it before.
I was just going to say, if I've made it back to the ravine, have I lost the gorilla? That would have been the goal.
You've done some circuits for a while, dipped underneath the tree line, and soared away. You rolled quite well on all of your previous attempts.
In that case, well, since I know that there are flying beasties about, I will look for a place to sit down.
Okay. All right. Cast your eye along it. It's going to be bumpy, whatever you try. It's going to be a hard piloting roll.
Oh, heck off.
You will touch down regardless. The risk is making the takeoff harder.
Of course.
And then taking off is also going to be the same, with the risk of, again, so bumping in and probably landing, but, busting something on the way up or down.
Well, can't stay in the air.
Okay. We're bringing it.
Oh.
Ooh.
Not a fumble.
But not great either. Would you like to, if you're going to deal a bit of damage, you are going to land, but it's going to put the flying machine in poor condition and possibly a little bit to yourself as well. You could attempt to push this at the last minute, pulling back, trying to ride it and have another go, or you could eat the failure, and then there is always luck as an option.
So 28 points of luck, get me a regular success.
Which will mitigate.
No damage, but I'm going to have a hard time taking off.
That's right. And you could push it. If you push it underneath the just regular success, you'll get to that as well.
True.
And then it's only the hard to get your smooth landing.
I think I better push it.
I think you better push it. You've
champion.
got to push it real good.
Noting if you fail this push, it's a more serious. It's a you try and pull back at the last moment and just wham into a tree on the other side.
I think I'm gonna have to push it.
It'd be pretty sweet if you did.
Here it goes.
Oh.
No damage. Hard to take off.
Last moment, you're able to heave back on it. You skim across a couple of boulders that would have dealt impact, and then bumpily land on the other side. The tires sort of, rocking one way or the other. The whole thing shakes, and by the time you come to a stop, you're fairly frothed. Where you pull the parking brake, and another successful landing for Dr. Samuel Taylor Thompson Airlines. From here, you are aware that taking off, your best bet. This is all bumpy. You won't be able to get enough speed. Your best bet will be to wheel it to the edge of the ravine, drop it off, get the speed, and then coast out through there. And it'll be fucking
Amazing.
sweet as hell. You'll probably be followed by those mad bat things too.
6 dozen.
Tight as shit.
So we get you the elephant gun, we mount it onto the front.
And then you go back and take down those things from the air.
Exunct, pursued by Danger Noodle.
Okay. The flying machine has been landed. The four of you reconvene. I pass it to you.
Sam! Smooth landing as
I got bit
always.
by a rat.
Oh yes, that happened.
Oh, I thought, Sam.
Look.
It bit me and I'm worried I have the plague.
Oh,
Not the other plague, but
can take
a
a
new
look at that
plague, a
if you
different
like.
plague, a rat plague.
Shall we have a quick look? Quick look,
Yes,
see?
please. Please, we have time. Is that okay?
We can
I
stop.
got bit by a rat twice.
If it's
2
medically
rats,
relevant,
different rats.
Sam, they were all wearing these, and I'll hand you one of the vests.
It's covered in, giblets.
We'll take a look at it if you like. Maybe the machine will tell us.
It had a knife. The rat had a knife.
We don't have a machine, unless you mean the machine back at base.
Well, if Hubert thinks it's medically relevant, then we can certainly hold on to it.
You could. You actually
Dr.
do
Sam
have samples.
Dr. Sam is
there.
humouring him. But yeah. I mean, I guess if they were carrying some kind of disease, it would be good to have the vest. But let's take a look at that foot. Hey.
What did you see from the air while we're looking?
All sorts of interesting things. There's a gorilla.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, we are
Big-
in the jungle. I don't think they're.
Big
they're
blue
native to this
gorilla.
area. Oh,
Blue.
About as
blue.
big as an elephant.
They're wearing a vest.
4
So
arms.
much. Did it have a knife?
No, got 4 arms, 4 eyes.
Okay. Oh
Pretty
no.
sure that's not a
what you were-
gorilla then.
It was the best place to start.
Right.
Entomologically, I suppose.
We
yeah.
don't have a lot of time.
And there's a lot more of those flying lizards down the ravine.
Right.
Oh,
I'm intrigued by that ravine. I feel like it seems like the most obvious place for us to go, and it also seems like it's possibly the place where we want to dump that bomb,
Good, right.
the Hasparang device.
I think we've all agreed it's a bomb.
The bomb.
What it does when it goes boom, we're not sure about, but the actual, technology. Are we? I'm with Mr. Smith. I think we need to take a look at this ravine to determine whether or not we're going down into it, or whether hefting this device over the edge is sufficient to cause at least some level of disturbance and potentially.
Let's take a look at what or who's down there first, eh?
Yeah, let's get to the edge and make a decision from there. It's the same thing. We need to recon. Lieutenant
can we try
said.
doing it quietly this
How
time?
far away is the ravine from where we are right now? Is this something that we could split up and do while Sam looks
it's quite
at Minnie? Then we, Mr. Smith and I can
The
take
first
a
edge of it is
quick
quite
look.
close, but the actual ravine itself is long. So, canvassing the whole area will be separate to getting your first impression.
At least to get a first impression of whether or not we're going to have to abseil down the side of the ravine, or whether there is a pathway down.
Yar.
And Doctor, there's something funny going on with the air around here that'll put you to sleep if you're not careful with it. So try and stay focused.
Will do.
Okay.
I've never seen anyone more focused on their work than Sam, so I'm sure he'll be fine.
Okay. So Dr. Sam is going to take a look at Minnie's rat bite, and Lieutenant Carter and Hubert are going to creep across and have a look. Okay. First of all, Dr. Sam, can I get you to make a power roll? Please and thank
Power?
you. Yeah, you feel a little,
For the
wobbly
air.
once you came back down.
For a wobbly air.
I got power aplenty.
You do have power aplenty. Hot
Do I
dog.
need a hard?
No, that
Is
does
the
it.
hard going to help?
As you come down, while you were landing, you were pretty focused on it. You were, plotting your courses, and running numbers, and trying not to drive into trees. Those sorts of important flying things. Now that you're down, you can begin to feel sort of like a heady high just coming over you that just, moves to slow you down a little bit, and you're getting like after images a little bit when you move too quickly and looking at Minnie or anyone else. You also noticed that as you made your descent, time sort of wobbled and moved to molasses. It was getting close to nighttime when you began your trek, and while you were strafing with your big gorilla friend, the sun was creeping below the horizon. But here, it's still a sort of strange twilight space, everything bathed in orange and blues, whereas by your clock, you're approaching 10 or 11 quite late at night. It should have been fully set by now. Things are a little odd. Can I get you to make a sanity roll? And I'm actually going to get everyone to make one for the compounding effects of this strangeness that you're moving through. 0 on a success and 1 point on a failure.
Ooh.
Oh, Hubert, that 50 is doing some heavy lifting. The 51 before it to keep you out of the fumble zone. Although with that new 1 point, you are no longer safe. Same for Lieutenant Carter. You guys are twinsies.
We're both equally stained. That's frightening.
Just as you begin to, this is just sort of moving through this range dimension. Dr. Sam, do you want to make a medicine roll then for Minnie?
I'd love to. It's more medicine than
Plus.
first aid. Right, 'cause I'm trying to figure out what kind of diseases, or would you pay a first aid?
First aid's already been completed. The medicine's a chance to heal
okay.
further as well. You'll gain another D4
course.
if it's a success.
Plus.
So it's
Ooh, all right. That's what we'll do. Heck.
it'd be decent hit
15.
if you want to go for it. You could.
Cool.
I feel like now's the time to do it. Now's the time to be putting some hit points up and finding out if there's
you notice that
terrible diseases.
Lieutenant Carter has done a very good job of cleaning and bandaging it. It's very, it's military precision. Everything's been done functionally. They've used a little sachet packet of, disease be gone on it, and then cleanly wrapped and so on and so forth.
Antiseptic?
That's what I said. DBG.
Or antibacterial, actually, depending on which one you're talking
Do a bit of both, then you kill anything that's going to be on it. You don't want anything living. So this would heal an extra D4, and you do have the samples from Hubert. Genuinely, it's actually not a crazy idea to run those through the analyzer, because you might get some more insight into the makeup and the biology of these little rat nerds.
I think now's the time to spend
Rat-busters.
15 points of luck to give me a few more
Plus.
points and find out if those rat busters were carrying any diseases.
Okay.
Like we want to know that now rather than later.
Go for
right.
it. Point spent. Minnie, you can heal a
15
further
points.
D4 points. And
Want to roll it for me, Dr. Sam?
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Dr. Sam, medicine man, thank you.
Dr.
God.
Sam, medicine man.
And I discover that you
That's
have a
fun.
disease that's going to kill you in a week.
Or 48 hours if...
Bomb's
So-
going off in less than that. We're good. We're good.
The disease does not attempt. There seems to be no disease delivered by the rat's bite. It appears to be just a little chompage, and it's been cleaned out. So while there may have been some bacteria,
Coming up,
it's been
Minnie.
cleaned. Additionally, while you're doing this, you take the opportunity to run over some basic symptoms of the disease being spread by the serpent persons, and you also see no signs on Minnie. So she appears to not have picked anything up so far. There's no early signs. So you think she's probably safe for the time being.
Now I wonder if I have time to check everyone out.
The other two are away. You could check yourself
The
over.
other two did a stroll.
That's what I'll do.
Okay. This is go ahead and give me another medicine roll. Just to spend a little time. And this will probably match with them if they come back shortly.
Who can say? Kind of know I've succeeded my constitution rolls, so you'll allow me to be a bit meta about it. I don't think I'll give you 3 points of luck for that.
I mean, you were way closer to the one where it got shot.
It'll be fine.
Okay, no worries. You have a once over. Generally, you just can't be sure with the strange state of this area, and given the exerting a lot of activity, you're quite sweaty and you're a little clammy. And everything. You're just not 100. You're also not feeling super great in this kind of slightly wafty area. The paranoia begins to circuit. You might think it's in there, but you're pretty convinced. You followed protocol. You should be fine. Good. Elsewhere. Lieutenant Carter and Mrs. Smith begin to creep through the trees and towards the edge of the ravine. As you arrive, you're keeping low, and you can see that there is a huge crack in the ground that slices down the mountain with trees collapsed in over it on two sides. The furthest point across is not incredibly far. I hate estimating directions. It's like several lanes of a freeway or something. You couldn't jump it, but you could probably, if Evil Knievel had some ramps, it'd be sweet, not impossible. Yeah. Is that a good measurement?
I got to ride.
That's perfect.
If you can wrestle me up a motorbike.
We should measure it in school buses laid across.
What I am getting from this is, if we were playing Borderlands and you boosted your little vehicle, you'd be able to make it across from a ramp and smash some of those arseholes in masks.
Yeah, 100%. And it'd be tight as shit. Cool. You can also see that there is clearly something occurring down the side of it. From where you've arrived, you can make out a emanating blue light from deeper down, where a fissure has opened on the interior and a cave system or something has been uncovered by it and is now wafting out an almost liquid viscous light that is pouring out of the opening and sort of tumbling down into the ravine, moving along it like a river of cyan blue, and then eventually fading back into normalcy as it gets deeper down into the forest side. Crawling forth from it, you see a number of these faceless winged things that seem to sort of pull themselves out of the crevice and then begin to scuttle up along the side of it, moving to just canvas the area in writhing bodies. There's quite a few of these things. At a quick glance, you'd say 20 more, maybe. It's hard to get a sense of them in this strange light. Can I get both of you to make stealth rolls for your approach? God. And then we're going to get sanity rolls shortly after.
Yeah, stealth no, and sanity. Sanity's fine.
Sanity's all right. Lieutenant Carter, can I get a sanity roll for you, please?
Certainly. Where is my sanity? No.
Okay. That's going to be your final success. It's going to be a D3. Actually, it's just me. Sorry, just a point. Just a point. Read the wrong one. Okay. Just a point on a failure. Hubert, Lieutenant Carter, they're a ways away, and you can actually make out where there is a very narrow path that leads down towards it, and actually where a couple of pitons have been driven into the stone that will allow you to get down towards it. However, Hubert, you can go no further without drawing attention. You've sort of fallen backwards a bit and actually pushed yourself away from view so that you don't draw attention. Proceeding from here carries more risks. At this point, it's just you wouldn't be able to continue without getting sensed. And there's a lot of these things.
So in terms of pathways forward, we can try and sneak down closer.
And talk to everyone, or is this just the two of you for the time being?
No, this is me internally.
Sure.
To Keeper, therefore.
Me?
Yes.
Ugh, okay.
Horrifyingly. You said this isn't supremely wide.
It's Evil Knievel wide.
Do I get the sense that the only way we're getting the device down to potentially this cave system is by getting close to it, or would a aerial strike potentially work?
An aerial strike would for sure. It'd be a throw roll either way. If you get close, so it's not a straight shot down. It sort of angles a little bit. You could try and get above it and drop it so that it hits the edge and down. You could get to the other side and toss it across to be a bit more confident. That said, you also don't necessarily know what's inside. But when in doubt, bomb the fuck out of it is normally a good strategy.
That's impossible, even for a computer. I don't care if Dr. Sam used to bullseye one rats. He can't make that.
I'm pretty convinced that with the right finagling, that may in fact be our best option. And Ariel does not need to be above the lip of the ravine. Ariel just needs to be easily... he's going to have to yeet the device down the ravine anyway, so...
Doing it, if you want to do it while flying, going down into the ravine would be the only one that actually helps you. If you just go up, it wouldn't give you a bonus. The other alternative is you could try and get a rope or something to lower either the device or someone down the side, limiting the exposure of number of people to these things. You could also try and distract them or something and get them to leave.
There's always the option of bringing the blue gorilla into the ravine and try to scare them off. However, then that leaves us with a very large blue gorilla to deal with. So I am far more of the mind of having Dr. Sam do a flyby potentially with someone who has a reasonable throw skill. He has to go down into the ravine to get his flying machine flying anyway, so needs to get close. And then whether or not there's some way for the remaining few to take pot shots at these little flying bastards as a way of distracting them, I'm not sure. But that's tactically what's going on in my head right now.
I dig.
So yes, with that in mind and sort of seeing Mr. Smith bumble around a little, make a little bit more noise, and perhaps as strictly necessary, I will suggest that we move back to the others, and I will relay what I just said out loud, to everyone, so you know what I'm suggesting is flyby, yeet, bye.
The four of you recollect, and you can scheme away.
Dr. Sam, if you take Minnie up, and the two of you try to make the drop,
I cannot. I'm not skilled in yeet.
I don't think any of us necessarily are. So I reckon...
Joe when you need her.
Flying through space.
In the stars.
Completely unhinged.
Look, mechanically my throw is 20.
Yes.
I think I may have the most luck out of everyone. So putting that out there, but mechanically also...
You're also the best person to be taking pot shots at the flying things.
Yes.
The other thing is, do we want to get down and try and have a little bit of a look? My thoughts would be, well, even just a little close. My thoughts would be, me and the lieutenant set up on the edge, out of range. The lieutenant tries to stealth down, and if they get spotted, fire the gun and run. That's the sign for the swoop to begin.
I'm extremely stealthy.
Oh, okay. Well, then
you could try and
maybe
get lowered down on a rope. I think as long as one of you is going, you limit the risk.
I'd rather get some idea about what's going on down there before we drop devastating bombs on anyone. You know,
well,
we don't even know who's down there.
Lieutenant's a good enough shot that they might be able to shoot from the sky. If the two of you are up there, we can try and sort things out. Minnie can try and sneak in, and if the bomb drop goes bad, we're around to run in. I'm probably the best one to just kind of sprint across something, pick it up, and throw it.
Very good. I am. If Miss Sinclair believes that she is stealthy enough, we've seen her in action. She's relatively good at disappearing into the underbrush, then getting a better idea of what's going on. We still have the ability to communicate either via semaphore or Lancet. And Sam, I know you're concerned about innocence. There was very little bubbling up from that ravine than those strange snake creatures, and you saw what they did to our pilot on the way in. I don't know that we need to be too concerned about the loss of life for innocence in this specific scenario. However, I understand your concern, and I'm very willing to work on the basis that we should check at least first. However, if we don't see anything immediately, and it is going to put our companions in danger, I am going to insist that the course of action is to mitigate as much damage as possible to the wider area, which does not give us a lot of leeway for chance.
But, look, worst case scenario, these whoever's down there has made this disease that affects people, right? I mean...
Yes, and...
What if they needed people to make it?
What
there
if
are
we need...
people down there?
If there are people down there and they've been experimented on, Sam, you saw what this disease does. Do you really think they're in any fit state to be removed?
What if there's something down there that could tell us how to fix it?
We have a device that's currently synthesizing a cure.
I guess.
In terms of risk analysis, if there is something down there that Miss Sinclair sees that is a chance for us to... gives us a tactical advantage, then by all means. But I would rather prepare for the possibility that there is no tactical advantage to be gained and set up for mitigating further damage.
Well, I suppose if you hear a gunshot, it means swoop in and drop, and our sign for abort will be to shoot at you.
I'm sorry, what?
Towards you.
Not
Across the bow.
To abort dropping a...
If something happens that...
We do need a sign to say this is actually a terrible idea. Don't do it.
Oh, I assumed Lancet would... unless we need an immediate issue. Of course. Wave a handkerchief. Or something to that effect. And large and white.
Small, metallic coloured handkerchief. Waved very close. I have a hanky. I'll wave that. All right, let's.
And because it's huge, it's huge. It's like it's like a flag. It's fine.
It's a towel.
Yeah.
All right, let's go then. I'll stand by at the edge. Minnie, you clamber down, and the two of you take to the skies.
Okay. As soon as you taking off is gonna aggravate these little things a lot, so you're probably gonna be being pursued out of here. Just like a heads up.
I mean, we had to throw the flying machine down into the ravine anyway, so I think
you've also said these things are quick in the air. You're gonna be like, it's gonna be once you leave by the time if you attempt to shake them and then circle back, that's gonna take quite a while. So who's got the bomb?
I think it would be better that we wait to see whether Miss Sinclair sees anything important. If not, or if there's something dangerous, at that point,
and then we
push out of the ravine, drop the bomb, and then leave. Like, do essentially a flyby. Hopefully, that is the element of surprise. I don't think we need to be in the air before we have determined whether Miss Sinclair sees anything or not.
But if Miss Sinclair gets caught, is the problem.
Then we will be on the ground. We won't be in the air yet, and we can assist.
You can help.
Okay, sure.
So
you'll know if I'm caught because I'll fire my gun.
Bang.
Sure. Okay.
So, is the understanding that you're going to get the machine ready to take off, which is going to be difficult because the roll did not get the hard.
We know. You don't have to remind everybody.
Hey, it's going to be cool too. So you're going to get the machine ready to take off with, I guess, Lieutenant Carter and Dr. Sam strapped in, and Lieutenant Carter, you've got the bomb, the Haftarang device. And then Hubert, you're holding a large rope to lower Minnie Mission Impossible style down the side of the ravine, carefully creeping between the dark creatures in the fading twilight to have a look inside.
Do I need to be in the machine, or can I be standing out of it, sort of with the intention of jumping in should we need to, but so I can actually take shots down into the ravine as a covering fire?
Up to you. For a quick exit and strapped in, you'd want to be in it. If you want to have to spend some time scrambling inside, it deals to us.
Can I take shots from if I'm in it already? I assume not.
No, you can. It's like an open. I mean, you can't aim it. You'd have to be in. only if they take off, because your eye line won't see over the ravine.
Yeah.
So no, if you want to be able to shoot down into it, you want to be out of it.
Well, do we want covering fire?
The other alternative I would say is Hubert could position himself to be holding the rope from Minnie and also standing. You guys could be strapped into the machine, and then if necessary, Hubert has Minnie tied off, goes and pushes the, like, you're a big boy. You could actually push the thing over the side to get you the start. So, you know, if things need a quick exit, Hubert pushes you guys off and then starts hauling Minnie up and out. Or you tie Minnie to the bottom of the machine.
No,
No, I think that's a terrible idea.
that
Terrible,
ruins
terrible.
any stealth advantage I get. No.
Funny that.
Well, that's all that
Very
matters.
funny, agreed, but
That's all that matters is if
And
Dave finds it funny.
completely impractical. Good way to get chucked into a rock
I'm going to
wall.
leave it up to Miss Sinclair as to whether or not she wants covering fire, as to whether or not I will be in or out of the machine.
I think you should be in the machine.
I think you should be in the machine.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Then I will be in, and I will have my rifle handy.
Okay.
Should I need to take
I'm gonna
shots?
go very quietly, and if it looks like I won't push it to the point of being discovered. If I feel like I'm failing at stealth,
I get you.
I'm gonna back out.
There's going to be
I'm
kind
not
of
gonna-
2 stages of descent.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Yeah, and I'm gonna back out if it looks like it's gonna screw everything up.
The fucking wheels come off. Okay. So Dr. Sam and Lieutenant Carter spend a while readying the machine and beginning to reposition it with Hubert sort of heaving along it. And you all sort of focus on that for a while. Dr. Sam gets in the front, adjusts everything, retunes for a descent takeoff. And then you push it forward so that it's not visible from the side of the ravine, but can quickly get a good shove, and then it's over the side and away. Also, if Hubert pushes it, there'll be no sound as it goes over the edge. So you can start the engine in flight and draw their attention, which would be pretty cool.
That's so
Jim?
cool.
Problem is that I'm lowering Minnie down. So if we get halfway down and Minnie gets caught,
Tie it off.
There's also
Really good climb. I've also
there's a
got really, really good
pathway,
climb.
so Minnie can follow a path down. You don't actually have to lower her like abseil. It's more
kind of
hauling
a
her
backup, I
out that
guess.
needs the.
Yeah.
well, I was just saying that is a possible reason that genuinely, if Minnie gets caught and we need quick extraction, we could tie the rope off immediately to the flying machine, and then he will just take away.
Well,
Good way
Hubert,
to get...
Mr. Smith, you've got a lot of things to do if something goes wrong. So get ready.
I
You
will
could
say,
rely
so
on me.
Minnie can
By all
take
means.
the path down. You could try to lower her. We'll give you a bonus on the stealth roll because it's a straight descent. You're not spending as much time.
Yeah.
However, you are completely at Hubert's.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
I've got a pretty good climb skill as well, so if
hell
I've
yeah.
got to use that, I can. But yeah, anything to help with the stealth, that's what I want.
All right.
Alrighty.
Everyone is strapped in, and the flying machine is pushed within heaving distance of the edge of the ravine. This section of the world remains in this perpetual twilight state, and Hubert finishes tying the rope towards one of the rear trees, I presume, and then holds the remnant of it, which has been sort of harnessed, strapped around Minnie, who with a book holstered on one side and a pistol on the other, not holding the half-drain device. That's being left with Lieutenant Carter, gets towards the edge, creeping along, and prepares to make the descent. Now, Minnie, you haven't looked over the side, so I do need a sanity roll from you. And Dr. Sam, nor of you, do you want to peek now and take it, or do you want to do it mid-flight?
I'll do it what now?
There's gonna be a sanity roll for looking over the edge. Do you want it now, or...?
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
would
want to
take
see.
it
I
now.
want to see where I'm dropping before I drop.
Hell yeah. All right, go ahead and make that sanity roll for me, please. 0 on a success, 1 on a failure.
All good. It's just a
all
ravine, just a
good.
hole in the ground. It's just a hole in the ground,
hole in
Dave.
the
This ravine
Ground.
leaking light filled with horrible monsters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like Dr. Sam and I make eye contact with each other and are like,
Should be right.
What I expected.
All right. From the side, Hubert gives Minnie a bit of slack, and you begin to clamber down the edge. Can you make a climbing roll first? And you're
I
going to
was
have a
really
bonus
hoping we'd
dice for
start
this.
next session with this and I could bump my luck, but sure.
We are going. I suspect next session's going to be someone flying
I
out being
know.
chased by 30 night gaunts.
Climb. Climb.
Oh, Minnie's got it.
Ooh, you got a bonus dice too, so you can add a little pizzazz to it, maybe.
Something. Yeah.
Or something. Take the first.
That's good.
Nice. Okay.
Success.
You begin to clamber down the side of it, finding the points, and eventually lowering towards where the track first hatchbacks. And then you get towards the edge of it and drop yourself down the second section. As you're getting down towards the light, you're beginning to feel a sort of a tingling sensation washing over your legs as they get numb, as if they've fallen asleep. And your mind is picking up every detail in the side of this rock wall, as if it's sort of like pulsing slightly and moving towards you. It's taking you a moment to sort of clear your head and refine the handholds with each point, but the descent is going well. And as you are now moving down into the thick of these nesting creatures, they're sort of like pulled themselves up against the side of the walls like they're cocooned, their tails wrapped underneath their wings, which are like suctioned onto the edge of the walls, so they don't seem to be able to see very easily, but there's tons of these things all scattered about. Can you please make a stealth roll, also with a bonus dice? However, this is going to be hard. Success lets you know that you can bail. Hard to actually complete the descent.
What were you saying? What was it?
It's fucking nothing,
Sorry, what was
whatever.
that?
What was that?
Who cares? It's just like a freaking whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. You get to the point, and then making the final bit, you sort of lean back on the rope to just do the final run down and swing down and can land inside this final section of the room. You still got the rope slack behind you, if Hubert gives you space as you push forward, but you can see that there is a corridor that you are immediately aware is not a natural feature. It is hexagonal in shape and cleanly cut through the rock. It goes straight forward and descends deeper into the ground. The light wafting forth from it is coming through in billows, pushing forward and past you, and through the other side you can hear an emanating hum and the occasional sort of from something large and industrial in a sort of a magical Cthulhu-y way coming from the deepest portion. What do you do?
I feel like we actually need to put the device into the cave. Dropping it into the ravine is just gonna
It does descend. If it was dropped, it would probably roll further down. It does have a mile radius of kaboom.
Okay, so it's a big thing in the... Okay.
Do you want to push forward and investigate further?
I
Give it a tug
really
to
do.
say come up, or do you have a second message for come down?
I think... What can I achieve from having a further looks? I feel like I'm gonna investigate a little bit further.
Mm-hmm.
While I can. I want to know as much about this as possible to send it back to the organization. I want to find out as much about this place and potentially the disease and everything as I possibly can. I want the information, and I'm ready to book it if I gotta.
Okay.
When I gotta. Inevitable.
You're at the edge of the rope, so you can sort of untie it and leave it hanging here for a quick exit so you can be ready to go. And then you push forward, bathing through the light and deeper under the ground.
I am well equipped for this exactly.
At first, it's just a straight sort of like angled descent with little detail along the smooth, almost metallic walls. But eventually it opens up into a large, again, hexagonal shaped room with detailing all along the sides of the walls written in Narcal, that serpentine language, that twisting sort of knotted tongue that spirals around the exterior and up towards the top, along which you can see a map of some potentially alien world. Do you have any navigation or similar skills? You do have Narcal. This is... I'll have you roll that if you take a chance to look over it. Let me see if you have...
I have base navigate.
You are a... can you give me a straight education roll?
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to make that a hard success.
You don't need to. You've got it. You got it. So with that alone, you can see that the map along the ceiling depicts our own world, but ages ago. It is millennia before, when, you know, the continents were in different contortions and completely different shapes, but it appears to be our own. As these the strange language encircles the area, you can see that there is a corridor which goes deeper into the rock, and it appears that section has shifted to block it off with stonework. There is another large arch around which is this embellished language that leads into a second, slightly smaller room, on the edges of which are huge, like, glass monitors or something like that are humming softly and dancing with odd flickering lights. And in the center of this room, there is a huge pool of what looks at first like mercury or water, and it's swirling softly in place. Around the edges of it are massive, thick stone tablets engraved with not only Narcal, but other strange runed symbols that pulse occasionally with power. And as you watch it, there's a sort of a from inside it, as it appears to draw a stream of light that goes outside, from outside in the ravine, pulls along through it, and then dips in towards one of the rooms. And as it goes past your ear, you hear this sort of like a as it gets sucked into it, and the whole thing goes widens slightly, and there's a pulse from within. Lastly, resting against one of the walls, there is the undraped skin of a human, completely smooth on the inside and absent of gore. Its eyelids sort of like just resting hollow and open, the mouth and hanging and hollow, where it seems that whatever was wearing that has stripped it off and abandoned it to the side. Can you please give me...
recognize the skin?
It looks to be one of the Malay farmers, someone local, not a specific person you've seen before.
Okay.
Taking all this in, can you please give me a sanity roll? Okay, not bad. That is going to be a
But I'm
point.
still gonna, yeah.
It's going to be a point as you take all of this in, and with you on the ground here, taking in the area, with the rest outside, surveilling the ravine and looking at these creatures all scattered along the walls and preparing to make the dive and possibly deploy the bomb, that is where we're going to leave the session to pick it up next time.
Good.
Hot diggity dog.
Oh, that was a scream. That was a soul. That was bad.
Yeah, it tends not to be real great.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. We'll park it there and we'll pick it up next time. We'll be here in the same place, same time next week. So please do come and join us as we figure out
Thanks, Dave. I hate
what
it.
the heck is happening
I
here.
love it. This is the best.
All right. And we'll maybe
I just-
see this.
Just have like old maps, knockout writings, glass monitors, surrounding pool of mercury, or souls, and an empty skin.
What's up with all that nonsense, huh? Yeah.
I love it.
Hell yeah.
I
All right,
see
well,
more languages.
tune in next time to join
I
us
see
again.
weird
And
shit.
and don't forget that next week on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, we will have our special Good Time Regency stream that will be available on YouTube later as well. So come and join us for that. Thanks all for watching. Thank you all so much for playing. And
Good stuff.
Thank you, Dave.
Keep it running.
thank you. We'll see you in a week.